The theme song, a gimmick used to get you excited for a show that you're about to watch. When effort is put into it, you have a classic that you will want to sing along with and will remember for years to come. When effort isn't put into it, you have the opening for the 2017 Spider-Man series. We've had great opening credits for animated series over the years. However, there are quite a few that don't match the series they are matched up with. Some don't fit the tone of the series. Some theme songs are misleading, and some overshadow the show itself. Not just because the theme songs are great, but because the shows attached to them were horrible. A few months ago, I asked everyone what they thought were the best theme songs to terrible cartoons were, and you guys delivered. Well, with the exception of that one guy who kept commenting the Nut Shack over and over again. So thanks to you, we are now going to look at the top 10 best cartoon theme songs to terrible cartoons. To make it on this list, the theme song not only has to be great, but the show with it has to have the reputation of being bad. Or at least feels completely different than what the theme song was advertising. Most of these are going to be personal opinion on my part. You might like some of these shows, or hate some of these songs. That's okay. Everyone has different tastes in what they like and don't like. I know I'm not going to change your minds, and you know you're not going to change my mind. After all, this is just a silly top 10. I will warn you that these theme songs are going to be butchered up simply to avoid copyright claims on YouTube. I've been claimed far too many times for posting theme songs alone, and this is the reason why I don't use them on my Fox Kids videos anymore. And with that said, hello friends, I'm Toonamp, and this is the top 10 best theme songs to bad cartoons. Number 10. Kappa Mikey. Hey kids, do you know what happened to me while watching an episode of this series? I knocked myself out while banging my head against the wall. Look, I get what they're trying to do, I really do. By trying to mesh American animation with what is supposed to be Japanese animation. But it doesn't work. And do you want to know why it doesn't work? Because in anime, surprise looks, big heads, bulging eyeballs, and other things that you would find in your average anime doesn't happen every 20 seconds like it does in the series. Not even in One Piece. This isn't the first time that a show tries to combine different animation styles. And it's also not the last. I mean, there was Christmas in Tattertown and Kablam, Phantom Investigators, and most recently and best of all, The Amazing World of Gumball. And most of these have gotten better, especially Gumball. Heck, even doing the anime art style. And I hesitate to say that because anime is not an art style. Look up Look up the series with the office working red panda that sings death metal. And Sergeant Frog. It's also been done better with Teen Titans, Avatar The Last Airbender, and most recently Voltron the Legendary Defender. Now I will say the writing isn't terrible. It's the animation I have a problem with. I just can't get past it. The reason why it's on this list is I needed a number 10, and I have to admit, if I close my eyes, the theme song is rather catchy. The show is an interesting idea, I just don't think the animation side was executed very well. Number 9. Iron Man Season 2. It was a toss-up between the first theme song of the Fantastic Four series or Season 2 of Iron Man. In the end, I chose Iron Man because the theme is a little more intense, and Fantastic Four was a little campy. It's more of a guilty pleasure than anything. I didn't watch many episodes from the Iron Man series while making this list, but what I did see made me wonder why this series was hated as bad as it was. I believe what it boiled down to was the phrase, compared to. Like the series is bad compared to X-Men or Spider-Man. And I can see that. Too many one-liners, animation is a little wonky at times, characters that keep talking to one another even though that character left. Yeah, it's cheesy. And considering this is season 2, which I heard was much better than Season 1. I shudder to think what Season 1 was like. But if I have to judge Season 1 with their theme song, then yikes. Yeah, Season 2's theme of Iron Man is simple, but simple works. It's just Tony hammering iron with illusions of Iron Man popping out every time his hammer connects. Add the lyrics "I am Iron Man" to it, and you have a great combination. Simple, but effective. Number 8. Wildcrats. Oh man, I wanted to like this show. PBS was on a roll before this show came out when it came to their not preschool entertainment. Shows like Arthur, Cyber Chase, Fetch with Rough Ruffman, The Prankster Show that also has the Electric Company, and Word Girl, especially Word Girl. They made learning fun. Wildcrats, however, can get boring and a little preachy. Remember the episode where Martin was turned into an acorn and we have to watch it grow? That was a long episode. To the show's credit, it's not terrible. It's just a little too long-winded and preachy for my liking. The song, however, is really good yet misleading. It's fast-paced and a lot of fun. The tune is catchy and the visuals are great as well. If only the show was like that. Unfortunately, yeah, the show is a much slower pace and it drags at points. And there are times where it talks down to children. Again, not horrible, but yeah, misleading. Number 7. Johnny Test. You know, I used to like this show. Like, during the first season, but it kind of fell out of favor with me. Now there's pretty much 2 theme songs here. The theme from when the show was on Kids WB and the Cartoon Network theme. For this video, I'm going with the Kids WB version because it doesn't have the unnecessary padding the Cartoon Network one does. It does its job explaining who Johnny and his family is, has a great hook in the middle, and it's not overly complicated. It's fun, it's simple, it gets right to the point. I'm not saying the Cartoon Network version doesn't do that, I'm just saying that version is a tad too long. The show itself, it's Johnny Test. Expect fart jokes, yelling, and a lot of fun stuff that should have died with Kids WB in 2008. Seriously, I can understand Spectacular Spider-Man continuing, but this is the only other survivor after Kids WB went offline. For shame. Number 6. Wayside. Another not horrible cartoon. The reason why it's on this list is because I really do like the theme song. It's poppy and catchy and it really does make you interested in the series. I mean, you want to find out what this school is all about because of this song. Why is it out of the ordinary, where anything is possible? Well, we get to the show and we find out the reason why Wayside is on this list. It's very average. Kids in school, we've seen it. Goofy kids in school shenanigans, we've seen it. Again, it's not terrible, but it's also nothing special. The theme, I would watch over and over again. I love the animation of the school being built from the ground up. The animation meshes well with the music, up until they start showing clips from the show. Sorry, but the characters seem out of place here. I get it. You have to at least show some of the show. It's just everything was working fine with the theme without the Butch Hartman designs. Still love the theme though. I just wish there was more to this series than, here's another cartoon with kids in school. You haven't seen that before, right? Recess, Doug, Detention, Pepper Ann, Braceface, as told by Ginger, the Magic School Bus, Daria, and the Emperor's New School doesn't exist, right? Right? Number 5. Mighty Ducks the series. Okay, so this is one of the more obvious ones on the list. But the theme song rocks so hard. The visuals, the music, the lyrics, they mesh so well together. It's really a shame that the show itself doesn't do the same. The animation was great, the mixture of computer and 2D animation were okay, it's just the dialogue and acting is what turned me off from the series. Here's the thing, annoying and goofy voices does not equal comedy, Nosedive and Tanya. Nosedive just isn't funny, even when he breaks the fourth wall, especially when he breaks the fourth wall. And Tanya, well, if cringe had a voice, it would be Tanya's.
Don't be ridiculous. Ducks can't. Right, I'm hurrying.
I'm not going to go into too much detail about Mighty Ducks, simply because I'm going to cover the show more in my history of Disney television animation series. But I will say, the theme song is one of the best of a bad cartoon. Mighty Ducks. Number 4. Beverly Hills Teens. I'll have you know that my ears started bleeding while listening to the dialogue of this series. Because, oh my god! Do teens in Beverly Hills actually sound like this?
He's like so studly looking. Oh, I'm embarrassed to the max.
The whole series is like cringy to the max, dude. I've said this in an earlier video. I am not a fan of cartoons where they flaunt their wealth around. Well, irresponsibly anyway. I do have an appreciation for DuckTales because it does tend to have decent money management lessons in the series, as well as a theme of earning your keep. But Beverly Hills Teens is a series where you sit your kids down and tell them, don't act like that with money. The series is about showing off the lavish lifestyles of these kids, and yeah, it's a cartoon, and the intent was to have these characters as role models for kids. But we also thought that Miley Cyrus was a role model, didn't we? Honestly, I can't relate to these kids, and I don't see them as role models. However, the theme is fun, very 80s pop. I love this theme song. However, the show attached to it is very the phrase, well, if you enjoy something like that. Number 3.
And then, from the field of the future, a new king will come to save the world of the past.
King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. I love this song because it takes me by surprise. You're not going to expect much from a TV series called King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, and you don't really get much from the series other than a few ironic laughs out of how bad the series is. But the theme song, metal rock with intense battle sequences. It really works well to get you to watch the series. Up until you do watch the series and you realize you got tricked. Yeah, guess which one of these characters sound like this? Because they're all big guys and jocks, you know one of them has got to sound like this. Yuck. There is a problem with most serious medieval cartoons. They tend to be so over the top about how noble and righteous the main character is. And this one is so unbelievably hokey. And with most of the main cast being brought from the 90s to the past, where they are knights, expect funny accents.
Hey, look, you'd think it was a big risk even if we had a fleet of stealth bombers with us. Boom!
Joey? Joey Wheeler, is that you? I mean, Wheeler, is that you? How the hell did I not connect those two before? Oh, and this is what the kids sound like.
Come on, let's help the king. Maybe they'll make us knights.
That is until his voice completely changes later in the episode.
We can take them if we stick together. We've nothing to fear. The Knights of Justice are with us.
It's Street Sharks all over again. Now, when I say a show named Gargoyles is more realistic about medieval times than this, That is saying something. Number 2. Toxic Crusaders. Okay, so admittedly, I don't think Toxic Crusaders is a terrible show. It's just the theme song is so misleading. It's 80s hair metal. I love classic rock, and this theme is so metal. Unfortunately, the series itself is a goofball action comedy. Like I said, the theme song is misleading. The comedy works for the most part. I could do without Toxie's girlfriend.
Oh, I wrote this little song, and if you wanna sing along, I'd love to let you, but you really shouldn't try.
The joke is that she's hot, but she can't sing, wears giant glasses, and plays the accordion. Apparently that's funny. Again, the show doesn't take itself too seriously, but with as metal as the theme it has, you would think it would have more action and raging. And the number 1 best theme song to a bad cartoon is Sonic Underground. Now, I will admit that I never really watched Sonic Underground until now. Big fan of Sat AM and hated the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, but I just didn't have the time for Sonic Underground. I am familiar with the theme song though. A very well done theme. Does it top Sat AM's theme? Almost. Again, it's metal, which I love, but it also does what the other 2 themes didn't. It tells a story, and it works. 3 hedgehog siblings play music, lead the freedom fight against Robotnik, and search for their mothers. At times, the theme is kind of heartbreaking. Julia White does his best to make each of the Sonic siblings sound different. For me personally, 1 hedgehog is enough. Right, Amy, Shadow, Silver, and Sonic the Handhog? While watching this series, I got annoyed. There were times that I wish that they continued the old Sat AM series. Other times I'm trying to figure out what the heck this has to do with the games. But that theme, that sweet rockin' beat, that is one of my favorite Sonic themes of all time. I just wish the show lived up to it. But at least it doesn't have Chris Thorndike and the "we get it, you're stupid" Knuckles in the series.
From